I was in 6th grade, I think.
I've had it since like sophomore year.
Actually, I think I was 9 years old. All the kids just had Instagram, and that's all they talked about.
That kind of is the reason why I got it too. Like, oh, okay, like I want to be like you guys.
I don't think my parents have ever heard of Instagram.
I mean, now like everyone is on it.
My feed was horrible.
One time I posted something where I put my little brother in a dog kennel. I'm like, this is funny, haha. No, that was the worst idea I've made, ever.
I usually have a bunch of photos I'm choosing from, like not a bunch, about 3, and then I post it with my feed, and I screenshot it, and then I delete it really fast just to see like how it looks with my other photos.
I follow only hot chicks. I'm just joking, but probably most of the people I follow are hot chicks.
And if it doesn't look good, I'm like, no, we have to go back to the drawing board and like start all over again.
Sometimes we even go on the internet, we look up like good captions for Instagram, like it's that serious.
How often do I look at it? Probably every hour.
14 times a day.
I mean, sometimes I even have to put an alarm for myself.
There have been times where I thought, maybe I should delete my Instagram, you know, just because I don't really want to deal with it. But then I think, what would I do with my life?
I wanna own the world. You with me? I wanna have it all. I'm gonna catch my breath. You miss me? I'll never leave you all. I'm like sweet as candy, so kiss me, try me, I don't bite. I don't stop the grind. I'm busy, I get what I like. This level's unreachable, skill is unteachable. Tell me that you know the type. My style is untouchable, untrippable, better believe in the hype. Bang bang to the beat of my own drum drum. Bang bang to the beat of my drum. Bang bang to the beat of my own drum drum. Bang bang to the beat of my drum. Bang bang to the beat of my own drum drum. Bang bang to the beat of my drums. Bang.
My friends Sarah and Grace were together. We all had a sleepover, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, Kaylin, you should get Instagram." And I was like, "No." I was like, "My mom really doesn't want me to have like any social media things." They were like, "Just download it, just do it like super quickly. Like it doesn't matter. She'll never know, whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And then I posted a picture of us 3, and so all these people started following me that were their friends. And then I did a photo shoot with this guy named David Hoffman, a really good dance photographer, and he had a ton of Instagram followers. I started posting those photos, and I got so many followers. I just pressed public so that they could all follow me, and it just kept going and going and going. Once I hit 50K, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm halfway to 100K. Is that good? Yeah, yes. My mom's like, "Kaylin," she's like, "I told you to keep private." And I was like, "I know," but I was like, I didn't want to look through all the people that were trying to follow me. And she was like, "Okay, well, make sure you just post, like, don't post too much about your life." She kind of like started to have fun with it. She was like, "Oh, I should post more stuff." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "I should?" Even the one who told me like not to have Instagram. And she was like, "Yeah, but it's like kind of like a network. It's kind of like you, like it benefits you kind of." And so it's kind of like a business, I feel like. How's that look? Looks good. Let's take another one. Okay. Let's do it again. Woo!
We're gonna wrap around 2 right here, and then we're gonna walk along right here. It's like a hallway right there, and the door is open to get in. But I was thinking, like, just in case, like an escape route, if we needed to, we could exit somewhere right here. Go right, go right, go right.
Where
We're the young teenagers, known as millennials, also known as the Instagram generation. We are the co-creators of digital era.
Boom, I got it.
Bro, that snap is fire. Nobody's ready for that. My first time ever picking up a camera was a broken iPhone 4. You know, I would be on Instagram 24/7 trying to figure out a way to build my following. And I was just blown away, like, wow, this is like a thing that people photograph. Like, this is amazing. Urban exploration is very popular these days, so I photograph it as fast as I can. Then I take like 10, 15 minutes and enjoy the view still. And then I'm just like, okay, time to go, like, leave now. Okay, let's go now. I'm always sitting there, you know, balancing out risk and rewards. Like, is the risk worth the reward? Man, that was scary as shit.
We're gonna see a good bull ride right here. Yeah, this guy's getting on it, don't take it lightly. No, sir. Right, John Bond, bucket ship number 3, cowboy. Slide right. There's your nod right there. Oh, look at that cowboy. Yeah, oh, son.
Literally, social media is like a job. Posting pictures, making sure you're keeping up on following people back, your boyfriends or your girlfriends or your best friends and stuff. I don't really like it, but I keep doing it, so. Do you know the rules of Instagram of how you can't post 2 pictures a day? Can't do that, And you can't post 2 selfies next to each other. Don't do that either, okay? On weekdays, you should post around like 9:30 because that's when you'll get the most likes. And then on weekends, it's like 10:30 because, you know, weekends are later at night. It's really embarrassing, I know that. I like looking at people's adventures and like where people travel. So it's like, oh, goals, gosh, I wish I were them. They're so happy. And I'm here sitting on my couch eating ramen noodles, you know? Yeah. I kind of live in the country. A lot of people would say it's pretty boring, which it is kind of boring, but the farm life is kind of nice, you know, dirt biking and like have a bunch of room to be able to like have campfires and stuff. It's very mellow lifestyle. I was super tomboyish. I always hung out with the dudes. I was always the girl like in the creek, like messing with frogs and stuff, and all the other girls would like be like, ew, no, it's gross. But I liked it, I don't know, just how I was.
What was the most trouble you guys ever gotten together as kids?
We might not be able to use this because I'm not trying to, I got an image to maintain, all right? And I'm not trying to, not trying to get embarrassed, so.
Yeah, we was young, we was about like 12, 13. It was about like 15 of us. We was running around tagging up, graffiti and all that. So we was going around tagging up. My friend Michael, he stole a box of donuts. And then we was running from the cops.
I remember Michael.
We was running from the cops and he ran back to get his donuts. So that was funny. And Hamza, out of all 15 or 12 of us, Hamza was the only one that got away. I think he was on rollerblades.
Oh, snap. That was definitely that whole part.
But that was funny though. Hamza was the only one that got away.
I never really fit in with any of the crowds that were in my area. I grew up in the projects. A lot of the kids I hung around, they started doing graffiti, and you know, I was like, oh, I want to fit in, so I started doing graffiti. They started shoplifting, so I was like, oh, I want to fit in, so I started shoplifting. You know, anything I could do to stay within the crowd.
We very similar, but at the same time different. Like, I don't know, Hamza just has different interests in different things. Like as far as skateboarding, photography, different type of women, different lifestyle. I do music, I rap. People see us and they would never think we was brothers.
thought I'd probably be like a gang member. It was like, oh, like when I go to jail, I was like, and I get out, people will respect me more, you know? I was very small-minded. When I started hanging around the skater kids, I kind of found a way out of like the ghetto. It was like a life-changing moment for me. It showed me that there's more to like my daily routine than the 4 or 5 blocks that I grew up in.
Hamza just kept advancing and growing and doing all types of stuff with skateboards. So I was just like, all right, you got it, Hamza. You could do the skateboard thing. I mean, I thought he was gonna get famous off of skateboarding, but then he came out of nowhere with photography.
There was a bunch of us that hung out together, took photos on the ground. Some of them didn't like me. And then I would see when they shared on social media that they went shooting, and I'm just like, why wasn't I invited, you know? Their reason was like, oh, Hamza, you're a shadow figure. If I take a picture, you literally wait till I'm done and you take the same exact picture. And I'm like, well, you are the better photographer, you have a better eye. If you take the picture, I want to compete with you in a way and become more experienced. And they didn't like that, so they stopped hanging out with me.
Что, снимает?
Снимает.
I was surfing the web and I came across this video of 2 guys climbing a tower in like Shanghai or whatever. A light bulb like went off in my head. I'm like, no one's doing that here in New York City. Like, again, I'm following over 2,000 accounts, never seen anything like it. So I'm like, I got an idea. Like, I'm gonna run with it, you know? A couple days later, I climbed a bridge. Shit. That adrenaline rush that went through me felt so good. The thrill was so much fun that it made the reward seem even greater than it actually was. When I saw those perspectives of being on top of the bridge, I'm just like, man, like imagine that from like the Queensboro Bridge. A new idea was born. Shoot from top of all the bridges you can in New York City. As time went by, more people became interested in my work. People were like, oh, look at these perspectives he's showing, like tagging their friends, like, awesome photo. Oh, shit. My grandma doesn't know what Instagram is, thankfully. She'd probably say, who do you think you are climbing these buildings and standing on the edge? She's like, you go fall and hurt yourself. I can just hear her saying it now. She'd probably hit me with her back scratcher. Yeah, like, whack. Then she'll be like, pick it up and bring it back to me now. And I get hit again. Oh, man. Every photographer out there, they would say risking your life for a photograph is not worth it. And I said, well, this is the only way that I can showcase New York differently and that most people would not dare to do.
Dude, this is tight. Hold on, stay right there.
That's like a boundary I'm willing to cross. I was like, this is it. Like, you found it, you know, like, you can finally show New York City differently, and that's how Hamza Dees found his craft.
Do you want to like sit right there and we'll
Yeah,
take a picture?
I want everybody to see like the color.
Okay. Do you want like the carpet and like how much of it do you want in
like
the frame?
everything, as much as you can get.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, I like this one.
In my point of view, a celebrity is kind of somebody who's famous and somebody who lives like a great life, who's like always in the spotlight and always like loving their life, like wealthy, like rich, famous, nice cars, nice house, nice clothes, nice everything.
I would say, like, what color should I paint my walls? Ready to go.
Okay, posted it.
All right, I'll go like it right now.
Okay. In my point of view, I personally don't think of myself as famous or a celebrity.
Gray, rainbow, lavender, white, sea blue, gray and white, JK, light blue, dark gray, sky blue.
You can't say she's not famous because, I don't know, it just seems so weird because she's just Kaylin to me.
That's like all my other friends. They're like my friends always say, they're like, oh my God, we saw like some girls at the mall. They were freaking out that we were friends with you. And I was like, it's just me.
687 likes in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model and like be a Victoria's Secret angel. Like that's one of like the biggest things like I've ever wanted to do in modeling. But my dad's 5'9" and my mom's 5'3". I'm not gonna be like, okay, let's take like a pill to make me taller. Like that's not gonna happen. Always loved fashion, like no matter what. Like my mom loves fashion. Like if you see her closet, it's crazy. I talked to my dad about it in the car one day when we were going to school, and I was like, I love fashion and I really want to do a successful line. My dad was like, well, I think you're a little young right now, but maybe when you get to like having a little bit more of a following, like 500K, then like we'll see.
She's working on that number. I mean, she tells me she wants to get into the millions. She doesn't want to just be on a runway modeling clothes. She wants to be the nucleus of the fashion. You know what I mean? She wants to be the brand.
Oh my gosh. My dad's a really hard worker. He owns car dealerships and he owns quite a few of them.
This one was well fed.
That's disgusting.
By the time he was 20, he was a millionaire. He was like an example for me to do those things and be super like determined and be successful with everything I do.
What's your relationship with Kaylin like?
I'm obviously her father, but like I said, I'm also, I mean, she talks to me about business. Like I said, she's been around me. She's heard all these conversations. She's heard all these hour phone calls I've had and all that stuff. So she's picked up on it pretty good. Biggest business tip I'll give you is have the guts to try it. That's the first one. So many people, they talk themselves out of it, and then they overanalyze. What do they call it in golf? They call it They call it paralysis through analysis. That's what happens to a lot of people. But have the guts to do it. Worst comes to worst, you can always do it again.
That's true.
Okay, we gotta find another.
My dad always takes everything into business perspectives, which is good and smart. But sometimes it just needs to calm down a little bit.
She's had offers before about getting into this clothing business stuff or modeling. I mean, she's been asked to do a lot of different clothing lines and that. And finally I told her, I says, you gotta get somebody that knows the ins and outs of the business. I understand business, but I don't understand the clothing business. You come up with something trendy and it'll work. Like I said, granted, this stuff has gotta be good, it's gotta be good quality, it's gotta be affordable. You wanna make sure that everybody can afford it. And then you wanna make sure the big key ingredient is you wanna merchandise it. You wanna make sure advertising sells everything.
Instagram.
Once you advertise.
He travels all the time. It's like not a big deal when he leaves. It's kind of almost good to have a break from him. Not like that, but like good because he's like super, not like, I don't know how to explain it.
Now, the Tupperware, why I like the Tupperware is I can give it a good shake, like this. Then we're gonna pop it right into the refrigerator. And bingo, we start marinating it.
You can come up to a girl nowadays and just be like, hey, I saw your post on Instagram. And then she'd be like, oh, really? And all of a sudden it's like this flirty, interesting thing.
I'm shy, so like I'm not strong enough to like go and just ask her for it. So I'll probably like ask her friends for their Instagram name or something like that. And then I'll like just stalk her friends' page until I find their page. And then I'll just like follow them and then...
There's a thing called DM, which is direct message. And I've direct messaged a girl before, and sometimes they're just like not online, and you are just freaking out the whole day. You're just like, what did I just do? And you're just like, ooh.
When I hear my parents talk about how like things were back then, like my dad was like, oh yeah, you had to like impress a girl in 10 minutes or they're gonna walk away. But now like you see the pictures of the person, you go on their page, you're like, ooh, they're kind of cute, you like it. And then you like another one, and you just keep on liking, and then they start liking him. And then, like, next thing you know, you guys are, like, talking.
Because it'll tell you if they read it or not, and they didn't. So I'm kind of, like, checking it every, like, 2 seconds. Just like, did they read it? No? Okay, we're good.
One guy that liked my picture, and I liked his picture, and then he followed me, I followed him, and then I spammed him, and he spammed me. And then we started talking, and then I ended up dating him for like a year and 6 months, and then he lived in New York, so then I ended up going to a competition in New York, and then I met him, and I finally met him after like a year and a half.
People don't really date anymore. Like, they just like DM each other on Instagram, they start talking, then they usually just, I don't know, they don't date.
But definitely, yeah. I've tried to reach out to some people, but always nervous about it.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah, that one looks really good.
Every relationship I was in high school was stressful. She saw me getting hurt. So I'm sure she learned from watching me go through like cycles. Smile, everyone. A lot of what she told me to like expect for high school was that girls are gonna be mean, guys are gonna be mean, girls are gonna get jealous and be mean. A lot of stuff just about guarding my heart and like being cautious with boys. Okay, 2 blueberry, please. I was like, I'm just gonna be there whenever she needs me, you know, like, even if she makes mistakes and some guy breaks her heart or whatever, like, I'm just gonna be there regardless. Censor! Look at this. If I put it on there, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen on Instagram? I thought this was kind of funny. I was getting like a bunch of followers, and you know, that's just kind of how I got connected in the school, was through Instagram. That's kind of just how I got people's numbers, like mainly guys. I've had like 6 guys DM me, literally just with these 2 words, booty pics, and then a question mark. And I don't even know the guys. And like, I block them immediately, it scares me. And I'm like, what is wrong with people?
So you've never done it?
Oh, I have.
Boys came into the scene, and it was kind of, there was this interest. They knew what the boundary was. They knew that technically you're not allowed to date till you're 16. That's the rule.
Michael, he was in my biology class, and he always was like, he's super outgoing, and he like always made funny jokes. And then one day he asked my friend Olivia for my number so that he could text me about the quiz. We talked for a long time. It was like 3 months.
I think she had asked us about dating, and we were like, we're not okay with that.
We basically were dating. Like, we held hands in the hall, and like you know, the typical relationship status, but he never asked me officially to be his girlfriend because I wasn't allowed to, you know, have a boyfriend. So.
We tried to be wise and smart as parents, but we had awoken a sleeping giant. And a lot of it was not knowing boundaries with boys.
I was just sitting home one day, like scrolling through my Instagram feed, and we came across this Instagram account by the name of Hamza Diaz.
So one day I posted like a Instagram app photo. Oh, I'm in Queens, anyone out that wants to shoot? And it was like 1 a.m. And Demet was like, hey, I'm around the area, would love to meet up. He's like, I know a couple of things too. And I'm just like, sure, like I'm lonely out here. You just want to shoot? Like, just come keep me company.
I had like biked all the way to Roosevelt Island. Even got hit by a car on the way there because I was like rushing. It just dented my wheel. So like I had to like hide my bike in a bush, walk the rest of the way to Roosevelt Island, met up with Hamza.
And he's like, so you're Hamza Diaz, you're the bridge climber. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm Hamza. He's like, so what are you doing out here at 1 a.m. right now? Did you just climb this bridge? And I'm just like, no. But secretly, I was scouting it out. He's like, cool, let's go up. And I'm just like, I have no idea who this kid is. For some reason, I said, sure. We're on the top, and you know, like, I'm trying to be very secretive. There's a lot of traffic still going on. This kid, like, puts his camera on one side of the bridge, and he puts, like, a self-timer. He goes to the other side and does, like, an emotional pose, like, leaning on a gate. And then, like, his flash just pops off, pow. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, dude, stop using your flash. And he's like, all right, just one more. And I'm like, no, man, it's like no flash. He's like, dude, bought us some Red Bull. Let's just chill up here, cheers. I'm just like, we gotta go. You've been using your flash. And he's like, let's just chug the Red Bull. And I'm like, whatever. So we like shotgun the Red Bull. And then we get down and I was just like freaked. I was like, all right, man, I'm done for the night. And he's like, yeah, before you go, like, I got this cool subway map of old stations. We should try to get to them. And I'm like, man, this game just got so much larger.
For like the next 3 or 4 days, we went like full nocturnal and just nonstop. Went on a bunch of like missions.
So that's the active train tracks. If a train does come, hug that wall. Third rail, watch the third rail. We pretty much shot for like a month straight together.
Got like 4 to 5 hours of sleep each day. And then we just like meet up again around the nighttime and like go out to shoot.
Yo, let's go.
Oh shit, come on. Fuck, dude, we're so stuck in here.
We went to Instagram meetups. We sent each other things that inspired us. You know, like, we were feeding each other food for thought. That was when we became like pretty close buds. I woke up one morning with 4,000 plus new followers on Instagram, and just like over like 30 text messages saying, hey, wake up, like, you're in big trouble. I can't believe you would go and do something like that.
It hit social media a little after 7 o'clock this morning. A tourist noticed something odd. The 2 American flags that usually fly atop both Brooklyn Bridge towers were gone, replaced by 2 mysterious white flags.
I was accused of doing that because people knew me as a person who climbed bridges.
It's a huge feat to scale this bridge and to get up on top of that flagpole to put white flags there. Who could have done that? That is the key question.
The reporter was like, hey, I see you're getting a lot of heat for this. Would you like to come on air and explain that you had nothing to do with this? So I said, yeah, because I was very afraid that cops are gonna see these articles and want to arrest me.
My gut tells me it's one person that I know of. I haven't met him, but he's popular.
He's not naming names, but says there's a subculture of hundreds of bridge climbers who almost always go up in groups. And he says it's not any of the people currently claiming through social media to have done it.
It just completely backfired. People were like, oh, Hamza, you just wanted 15 minutes of fame. You exposed a subculture.
Another artist heard about the interview, and he was really bitter about it because he also wants to climb bridges and he wants to do something similar, and now authorities have been alerted as to what their whole strategy is.
Demid was like, don't worry about them. I talked to one of them. He's like, they're not gonna do anything. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks for putting in a word for me. He had my back for a certain amount of time. The rules go unspoken, but they will be spoken to you if you break those rules. The whole urban exploration community started sending me death threats. People are like, if I ever see this kid in like an abandoned building or on a rooftop, I'm gonna push him off or I'm gonna break his head through a window. The following 2 weeks, I would always have to look over my shoulder, and I was just like a disaster mentally and physically.
Me and my friend Chloe had just gotten in a fight. I was talking to Michael, my boyfriend, and I was just like, I don't know if I really want to be friends with her anymore. He had become really good friends with Chloe, which I was fine with, but I felt like they almost became more than friends. Michael, being an awesome guy that he is, took the screenshots of my text and sent it to Chloe. And then so Chloe saw that and was like, I thought we were best friends, blah, blah, blah. And then I fell asleep and woke up to a bunch of text messages from Michael, and he's like, what's all this I hear about you cheating on me? Girls from our school and Chloe spreaded rumors about me cheating on Michael, and I was really confused. What? What's going on? I was like, if you're not gonna believe me and you're gonna believe like random girls over me, we shouldn't date. So that's when the harassing started. It was just constant. Every day there would be like 50 notifications on my phone calling me a slut and a hoe. I would understand if I was a hoe, but like I didn't do anything. I ignored it for a long time, but it eventually like actually started taking a toll on me. My sister like was like, just say something back.
She wouldn't even tell mom and dad like what was going on social media because it was like just horrible.
It almost was like a game for everyone. There's people on my side and there's people on Michael's side.
And Emma kind of, you know, she fought back. She said things she shouldn't have said, and I think that kept the fire going.
I went to my lunch table and Chloe came up and she said, why are you sitting here? And then she called me a bitch. And then I was like, this is my lunch table, these are my friends. And like 4 of the girls that are on my lunch table said, no, we're not. And then, so I got up and ran to the bathroom and like cried.
It just got worse and worse. Horrible things, words that you just wouldn't expect, especially out of a Christian school.
A few girls did tell me to go kill myself, and like, I didn't know how to react to that. It kind of took me like by surprise. I'm like, someone actually just told me to like go take my life because of rumors. I swear none of them would have said that to my face. But since they could say it over a screen, you know, they just did. I like ran into school, took my last exam, and ran out. And as soon as I got in the car, I was like, Mom, I'm done. And she said, I know. And so I didn't come back here the next year.
All right, guys, we're gonna go 3 at a time. So first group, thank you for being ready. 31, 152. And just a reminder, you only will do the dance twice in front of us before we judge you. So those are your only 2 opportunities to really show us what you've learned today, what you have, what you can bring to the team. Okay, we're ready, music.
Everything in life is competitive. It doesn't matter what it is. Acting's competitive, dancing's competitive, modeling's competitive. I don't really get affected by much, and so like I feel like that's a good thing because like I'm just like unstoppable. I've always been pretty confident, like ever since I was little. I feel like if you have like more of a confidence in you, then you're gonna do better in like everything. And I guess that helps me a lot for like school and dance and acting and modeling and everything, because like confidence is like key, major key.
Awesome, thank you guys. Switch lines one more time. We'll give you a second to breathe.
Let me see your toes. You have a little tiny
Those
cute
shrimp
little
toes are so gross.
No, everyone hates their toes.
I hate my toes.
I've never met anyone who's like, my toes are so cute. Everyone's like, ew.
I've been in fashion for
10 years now. And so I've been designing and styling, and I know everything about fashion.
When we met Jasmine, my mom was like, oh my gosh, I love her style. And so did I, of course.
Ooh, that was doing something. That might have been it. Hold on.
She has a huge passion and interest in fashion, and so it was just like a no-brainer. We were like, okay, we want to do this.
I think the two of them are going to be a great team. One does the design, Kaylin can do the modeling, the one girl's got a following too. And I think the two of them teaming up, I think they can do nothing but make it, and make it big.
Gigi is so pretty.
I know, I love her.
It's ridiculous.
I know. Jasmine was like, let's like vamp up your Instagram, let's make it cooler.
Her dad had mentioned that he wanted to see that platform get a little bit bigger before going full out with everything. We started talking about her look on Instagram, like her photos.
You look little, like really little. You don't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
We decided to work with a photographer, Ravi, who has an amazing Instagram account, just kind of like a different vibe than the typical shoots that Kaylin has been working on.
You started Instagram a little while ago?
Yeah, like when I was like around 12, I think.
12 or 13? Yeah. You've kind of crafted an image for yourself, or do you feel like you're just posting what you feel in the moment? Like, how strategic are you?
I feel like sometimes...
I don't think you overthink it.
Yeah, I don't overthink it, but I think a little bit about it. Like, I feel like everybody thinks about what they're posting instead of just, like, throwing anything out there.
Yeah.
Because you have, like, a certain image, so you want people... You know what I mean? Like, you want to keep that image of who you are.
All right. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Kaylin, you are slaying. Work.
Gorgeous, yeah.
You might get attacked by a rattlesnake, but this is so Fifth Harmony worth it.
Whatever your thing is that you are drawn to, there's probably somebody on Instagram doing it and making you feel like, man, that's the life. Like, that's what I want to be doing. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
A very common comment that I get on my pictures would probably be, so pretty, or love hair, or such pretty eyes, or stuff like that, or hot. I don't know, I feel like that's interesting, like, that people, like, think so highly of me and they don't even know me.
People consuming all these stories all the time. The only downside is if they don't have a reality check on that curation, or knowing that these people are, nobody's perfect. Like, everybody's human still. And then lips together a little bit more, good. And then chin, yeah, give me a long neck, good, beautiful. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day how many likes or anything you get. It's all Monopoly money. What matters is the opportunities it affords you, the means to an end.
I feel happy, like when I get a lot of likes, I'm just like, oh, yay.
I kind of have a rule. If I don't have exactly like 1 like per minute up to an hour, so if I don't have at least like 60 or 70 likes in an hour, like I have to delete it. I'm just like, no.
It's like a bit embarrassing, like if they see your photo and you only have like 18 likes on it.
I've bought likes. I still do. So like I buy likes to like show where it's like, hey, I'm a cool person.
You can take a picture with someone and you guys post the exact same thing, but it's secretly a competition on who gets the
most likes.
Who gets the most likes.
Instagram opened the horizon for pettiness from my generation.
Especially the school we were in.
Oh, Lord. Yes, our middle school was something else.
It's kind of like a rating scale because popularity is a very, very fluid thing in high school.
Every time I post a bikini picture, I get lots of comments. So when I'm sad, I do post a bikini picture.
But Instagram gives you numbers. It gives you, like, statistics on if your life matches up to someone else's life.
People want to actually hang out with me now. Now that I post the pictures I post and I have the following that I have.
People with large audiences told their audiences, oh, no one like talked to Hamza because he technically snitched and said these things. At that time, I lost like 1,500 followers. I was angry, I was frustrated. So I became really uninspired, and I was just like, might as well go back to skateboarding, you know, at least they like me there. reporter from New York Magazine reached out. He's like, don't worry, I'm totally not gonna screw you over. I would love to sit down and talk to you and kind of show people that you're not just a snitch or whatever they labeled you, and that you're a photographer taking these beautiful images. So I said, maybe this is a shot at redeeming myself, you know, like, what do I have to lose? I already lost everything. I walked by a newspaper stand and I saw my photo and I was like, that's my photo. And I like took it off the stand and I like showed the guy who saw it. I was like, that's my photo, that's my feed. I thought it was awesome. I was like, outlaw Instagram? I was like, oh, that sounds sick. You know, they make me sound like a badass. I Googled my name, which is pretty cocky. And then there's like more articles just dropping by the hour. And I'm just like, whoa, this is like going big. One of my friends, his dad was in a taxi and he's like, my dad's listening to you on NPR. And I'm like, what's NPR? He's like, National Public Radio. And I'm like, what?
Hamza Dees is a pretty ambitious 17-year-old, so he isn't that impressed by his Instagram following, but he should be.
Girls love badasses, and they saw me like scaling to these heights, just like, oh, he's fearless. Yeah. Just like, they were just like, it was like a panty dropper when they saw like what I was doing.
What's up? I'm here with the illest of the illest.
Well, I'm here with the illest of the illest.
I had like 9,800 followers. Woke up one morning at 14K. Then over the course of a month, 75K.
I don't really care about followers too much because it's just like, you know, just like a number. I mean, if you're like, you know, trying to like sort of like market yourself, bigger following count like helps you out with that. But like, you know, personally, like it doesn't really matter to me.
This is one of my proudest photos. I love the pants and shoes I was wearing. Like, there's a dope like setting. I was like, oh man, I gotta snap a feet picture today. And I got one of my best images out of it. This was actually shot in New Jersey, not New York. It's called The Show Goes On. This was one of the paranoias I had of my art gallery, no one showing up, being a disaster. That's why I wanted to include it in the gallery.
Wow, Hamza, I'm so proud of you.
For real, seriously.
All right. Proud of you, bro.
Thanks, I appreciate you stopping by. He gave me my first iPhone.
Yeah,
I took my first photo, like photography photo, with the iPhone he gave me.
That's crazy.
He charged me $50. I only had 40, and I was like, yo, I'll pay you back 10. And he was like, you good, you good. And I'm like, yo, thanks, I appreciate it. Hey. So everyone, I greatly appreciate every single one of you to come here. Some of you are probably here because you saw the New York Mag article or whatever article you saw. They called me an outlaw Instagrammer or a daredevil Instagram photographer. I do not want to be labeled that. I am a skateboarder, a photographer. That is who Hamza Dees is, and I am Hamza Dees. I greatly appreciate all of you being here.
The biggest thing for girls like me being a high school student is girls looking at their ex's Instagram and seeing how happy they are with their new girlfriend. You're scrolling through Instagram, your friend's over there, you're eating some food or whatever, you're sitting in bed together. You click on your ex, but you're usually blocked on your ex, so your friend looks up his name for you, and then you stalk it on your friend's name. And then you see pictures of him hanging out with his friends and hanging out with new girls and being crazy. And then you start crying because it makes you sad. So that's the daily dose of being a girl. After leaving the school, I just wanted to move on. I wanted to not have to see anything on Instagram. I didn't want to deal with it.
There was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to go alone. My only friend was the man in the moon, and even sometimes he would go here too. Then one night as I closed my eyes, I saw the shadow fly
all the pictures and like all the memories I had with my classmates and all the friends I've made over the 2 years of being there. I made my account private so that no one could like see my Instagram, and I blocked 100% of my grade. I ended up going to Springboro. I was super nervous just because going from a 90 per grade to like 1,000 per grade is a huge difference. I was stressed but excited, kind of get to start over. I took it slow. I didn't want to interact with anyone really.
There are more kids. You can fly under the radar, and she kind of went in there. She said, I'm keeping my head down, I'm staying out of trouble, less drama. You know, it would be best.
At my old school, I was one of few, like, girls that looked okay. Like, I don't know how to say that, being nice. And at Springboro, I am not even close to, like, what other girls are. I don't constantly think, like, oh, I wish I were better looking. It's more like I look at another girl and I'm like, I should work out. I should eat healthier. It's almost like jealousy. It literally is jealousy. It's like, I wish I looked like that. And you compare yourself and you're like, her thighs are thinner than mine. She has a thigh gap. Like, her face is prettier than mine. She has a nice jawline. Just stuff like that constantly goes in your mind. I kind of just was always worried about, am I ever gonna like fit in here? Is this really like a good idea for me to be at this school? But the more that people got to know me and they would post pictures with me, the more I would get like involved. It was like a new world kinda. There was a kid named Nick. Well, my friend Haley was friends with him, and he FaceTimed her because they're friends, and he answered it, and then he saw me next to her and was like, who's that? And she was like, my best friend, Emma. And then he was like, okay. And then that night he DM'd me and he was like, hey. And then he asked for my number and we just started texting as friends at first, and then we kind of liked each other. Our first date, we went on a study date and ate sushi. I just kind of fell for him because he was so funny. And like, I don't know why he fell for me, probably because I'm so funny, but. Started hanging out more. We would go to the park and like climb trees and like walk around and spend time with his family. And I was just like, hey, I'm actually really into you, like that kind of situation. It's like when you're in a relationship and the guy posts a picture with you, that's very affirming, like knowing that you're actually the only one, because if there was another girl, she would definitely see that pic. So it's like, check off the list. I mean, it's true. It's sad to say, but it's true.
We're going to the beach. We're going on the trip.
And our favorite party is we going to the beach. We going to the beach.
Does Kayla have a boyfriend?
She's got friends that she goes around with. I don't, like I said, she, as per se, I don't think it's, at least I don't know of it. She's got a couple friends. I mean, she's got one friend in particular. But like I said, I don't know the extent. She's 15 years old.
We've known each other for 3.5 years, but we've been dating for like
Max did the
10
impossible.
months.
He broke the friendship.
At one point, I think I said, so Max, is that your girl? And he went, yeah. I said, well, that's great. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Is she always on her phone?
100%. Like, she's never not on it.
Are you on your phone less?
Yeah, like I'll lose No, when I lose my phone, I don't care. Like if she lost her phone, she would like.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, she would.
You go on the phone.
When her phone died, she's like, oh my god.
You've heard the DM song, I'm sure. I mean, you ever heard the DM song where it's like down in the DMs, you come down, you come down. But it's basically a song about like a guy hitting up a girl in the DMs and like everyone knows that song now. Well, you know. Guys asking for nudes of girls is getting so common and it's so illegal. I'm talking to the 7th graders that ride my bus and like, oh, did you see her nudes last night? So-and-so sent these, I sent her this, and it's getting really serious and it's not okay.
Why are they so close?
I like this one. Look how good this one is. I should post that. Send them all to me.
You can't like really control what people say. And so my mom started helping me with my Instagram, deleting like the bad comments that were on there.
I understand like a hormonal boy just commenting on a picture, but I've seen like older men with a wife and kid commenting on it. I'm like, yeah.
We got it under control. I don't think consciously of like how I am. I just wear what I feel like I want to wear, and like most of my friends wear the same thing as me. I just have a different body shape than them.
Ooh, I like this one.
That's how I came out of my mom's stomach like that. I can't really do it. Like, you know what I mean? I can't do anything just like about it. If you put makeup on me, I'm gonna look older, of course, but I love those pictures, so I'm not gonna not post them, you know what I mean?
No.
No.
That looked awful.
No.
No.
I hardly post selfies because oh my goodness, it's so hard to post the perfect selfie. It's so hard to take
They're
one.
so nice.
They're so nice if you have that perfect selfie, but oh goodness, it's so hard.
I need lessons on selfies because like
I took a shower, I blow dried my hair, I curled my hair, I did my makeup, and it took about an hour and a half just to get ready for a selfie.
There's a part of me that's like, okay, I don't take pictures and I'll put them on Instagram because I feel like I don't look like this guy on Instagram who has like this six-pack and he's a model and all that.
I usually take down the brightness a little bit because I don't want it too bright because then it makes my skin look oily.
There's this one called Facetune where like if you have like acne or something, it can like smooth it out.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people use that and I use it sometimes.
I had this dress on and I decided to like kind of erase the sides of my waist a little bit so I could adjust it and make it look more slimmer.
I don't use Facetune personally because they come out looking like really, really fake, or like you alter your face, like one side's like half cut off. I don't know. A lot can go wrong with that.
And then I realized like people could tell. So I think that was the craziest and like the most embarrassing and like never again done in my life.
It's a lot of pressure making sure that you look absolutely perfect in every single photo.
Sage, what's up? Nothing much, just getting a good start to the morning. Once I realized people were willing to pay money for my art, I was like, oh, well, now I have to look at this as in a brand point of view, like, how can I market myself?
Hamzillas.
Yes, sir.
Hamzadis knows no two perspectives in New York City are the same. The Hamzilla follows suit.
Brands reach out to me because they like my work, but then what really seals the deal is that they're able to target another audience by using my social media. Out of the blue, Adidas reached out to me to work on the Yeezy Season 1 campaign. I was like, no way, Kanye's like my favorite rapper right now. You know, I was like being a fanboy. That was like my first paying gig. She said, hey, like the most we're willing to offer you is like 10,000. And I was like $10,000? there any way you could pay me in cash because I don't have a bank account? And she's like, we cannot cash you out on this. And I'm just like, so what do I have to do? She's like, you have to get a bank account or something. You know, I was like 17, like this like super hyped kid sitting in a chair, like all sweaty, has like a skateboard. The bank teller started asking like, how'd you get 10 grand? And like, I'm black, so like, you tell in the back of his head, he's like, is it drug money? And I'm just like, no, I do photography. Like, I like got to shoot for Kanye and all that. As soon as I created that account, I called my friend. He's like, the first thing you should purchase with that debit card, it should be your flight to Dubai. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Wheels up, baby. I was finally leaving New York City for the first time ever in my life. That awoke in like the wander bug, and there's a whole world out there. I was like, oh, I gotta go here, I gotta go here, I gotta go there. All the money I make through photography gets used for travel. I got that on film. That was terrifying. I was happy because I was gaining an audience and people were finally appreciating my work. But at the same time, I'm looking over my shoulder because these kids don't like what I'm doing.
You can definitely make a career path out of like your Instagram. Personally, like it doesn't really matter to me.
Every day people get distracted by the competitiveness in the game of Instagram. When you're like aspiring artists like all of us, you know, you're like rooting for the next, you're rooting for yourself and for others, like, oh, we're all gonna make it. And then when I finally like kind of made it, everyone like closed me out. They like turned their backs on me.
Not everybody's like posting photos like for the same reasons. Like, you know, for me, it started out just like as a fun thing to do, and you know, but a lot of other people are also just trying to like stand out or pop off or even like, you know, make money off of it.
I would say people became jealous that I got all the notoriety and they only got a piece of it or they didn't get any. And they grew to hate me for that.
The way he kind of like treated me and like all the friends that we used to like hang out with and go out to explore with, he just sort of like burned all the bridges, you know? Honestly, I kind of understand exactly why Hamza like did what he did because he doesn't come from a wealthy home. You know, he's like definitely tried his best to like be in a better position and like, you know, make money. So like, yeah, I respect that. But also he just like did it in a slightly kind of like aggressive way.
I mean, not to make it sound all sad, but just like all the people that I consider my friends that I actually liked hanging around, they don't hang out with me because of the white flag incident or because they see me traveling and have a large following and think I'm Hollywood. So I'm usually just by myself.
I feel like the bad thing about me is that like everything on Instagram is like the same in my life. So like really there's like nothing to like there's nothing bad. I don't know, it's like good because there's no like issues in my life, but I feel like there's nothing that's like ever happened. Which is kind of like
Kaylin and Max had actually been pretty low-key, I think, as far as social media about their relationship, their friendship, and that. But there was one picture that went out, I think it was from a football game.
all these people were commenting like, oh my gosh, you have to see this, Kaylin. There was a link that somebody put down in the comments.
A guy amongst the followers that was very much, shall we say, obsessed with Kaylin.
He was like, I don't want her to have a boyfriend, and like, I love her so much, I'm obsessed with her. And I was like, I've never met you in my life. He would say things like, I want to come find you, and then I want to kill everybody just to find you, and when I find you, I want to kill myself. And so my mom called the police and they came over. And so he's like, okay, well, I'll look at it. I'll see if we need to do anything. And he acted like it was nothing.
If somebody's coming after me, it's come on. But it's your kid, that's a different thing, man. You don't mess with people's kids.
You know, thank God this is a, you know, double-gated community, but the problem is the more exposure you get, the more susceptible you are to finding some nuts.
He lived in Southern California and so do we. Like, he could get to me like whatever or wherever. Like, I don't want to feel unsafe at my own school.
It's scary to just think that a follower can affect you like that. A follower's not necessarily your friend.
Like, how could you be so obsessed with me when you've never met me? You know, it's just weird. It's crazy to think about.
I don't really look through my direct messages.
I mean,
so
some of them are kind of inappropriate. Which, no, I'm serious, because, like, sometimes, like, older dudes will just be, like, really weird, and it's just, okay, never mind.
This guy found me, and we started talking, but it got, like, really creepy because he wasn't following anyone else.
I mean, I've gotten asked for nudes before, like, I'm pretty sure. Have you not?
Send me nude pictures? Like, I'm only 15, so, you know, calm down.
He started, like, commenting on my photos, like, hey, want to talk? I'm still up. And I'm just kind of like, leave me alone.
I can't believe that's never happened to you.
No.
That's happened to me a couple times.
Oh, man, find our pages.
Yeah.
And it's like, they'd be like, hello, sexy. I'd be like,
Like,
you
could
look
be my
older than my
grandfather.
father.
I don't even know you. And they'd be like, what clothes are you wearing?
Oh, geez.
Yes, and I'm just like...
So you have to deal with the perverts, the disrespectful teenagers, the racist people, and family members. That's too much.
Block them.
Too much.
Block
Yeah,
the
there ain't
family.
nothing to cut that off.
.432 was a tall building, really stood out in the skyline. Me and my friend Night Shift one day thought, like, this would be an insane view from the top of that building.
We were just walking around Midtown. We walked past a construction site, and we kind of made a joke about it, like, oh, we should do this.
And then one day we just said, you know, let's just go for it. We just hauled our way up there, walked up like 95 flights of stairs.
We got to the top floor. The only thing left was a crane. We decided to climb up to the crane.
Oh my God. Dude. Fuck. Wanna do it?
It was really like amazing to see New York in that way. It was like covered in fog and we were just so high up.
Oh my God.
We wanted to be out before anybody starts working again, so we started just like running downstairs. I posted, I think, in the next couple of days. The photos immediately got a lot of attention. And then like a week afterwards, my mom called me, tells me to come home as soon as possible. She's like, there's detectives here. And I'm like, all right, I'll be home soon.
Tonight, an Eyewitness News exclusive. A 17-year-old charged now with climbing, quite illegally, a luxury apartment building under construction on the east side of Manhattan. 432 Park Avenue, the second tallest building in New York City. The teenager posting his pictures of his climb on the internet, and that's what got him arrested.
The detectives drove me to a precinct by Columbus Circle. And after about 3 hours, they cuffed me and transported me to Central Bookings, also known as the Tombs.
I was seeing him every day on the news, just Demit's photos popping up on the internet.
The next day, like, our mutual friend called me and said, hey, did you snitch on Demit? And I was like, how would I know he was up there? I was like, we don't talk anymore. Supposedly, like, some, like, news reporter was outside his door, and they all thought they got the information from me, and I was like, dude, I don't even know where you live.
The
detectives wound up finding Demon's Instagram page, and yesterday they knocked on his mom's door.
Yeah, I know it's like the pictures look gorgeous. I know how teenagers look at it. I know how other people look at it. Police does not look at it this way. I don't look at it this way either.
It was worth it. I mean, I knew there were going to be consequences, and I was willing to face the consequences.
People reached out to me, trying to act all concerned. They were like, oh, so Damage got arrested, Night Shift got arrested. How come you haven't gotten arrested yet? It just doesn't make sense. Like, you're like the face of this scene right now, and everyone's getting arrested but you. An honest answer would be, I have no idea why I have not gotten arrested, and I'm glad I didn't.
I made my feed private for a while because my lawyer said that it could affect my case.
My friends weren't really on board for it. Like, they did not like Nick. He pulled the card on me, like, everyone thinks I have a bad reputation, I just want a good girl in my life. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you a chance.
I said, chances are, if your friends are warning you, he's no good.
We're almost too much alike. We both were like really outgoing people, so we kind of like fought. We fought a lot and we would get in stupid fights. I kind of let my guard down. I fell for this guy and got super attached.
This guy was just, you're classic. All I really want from you is sex. And girls, I feel bad for them because they're in this. How do I demonstrate or let them know that I care about them and that that I want to be important to them? And so she was a little, I think she wanted more. I think she wanted a relationship.
He's like, yeah, I'm hanging out with this girl named Zoe tonight. And I was like, why would you tell me that? And he was like, I just want to see where things go. And I was like, what? I just kind of asked him. I was like, why aren't we, like, I thought you really liked me. He's just like, you're just not physically attractive. He's like, your body is just not. After he said that, I just almost lost like control. I just literally like crumbled in a ball and like wanted to throw up. I think I did look at his Instagram. There was like posts with girls that just piled on top of the situation. Looks matter. Like, looks really do matter. Like, the older I get, I'm kind of realizing that they're not the only thing that matters, but for right now in high school, I feel like that's definitely the only thing that really matters. Because if you're good looking, you basically have it all. My sister came in my room and I was crying, and she's like, hey, is everything all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just super sad, man. Like, everything's cool. But I think deep down, like, it bothered her so much. And she was like, you know, why am I not good enough? Why am I not pretty enough? I mean, it's every girl's struggle. After I saw all those pictures and just everything caved in, I was like, I'm done, man. Just because I couldn't think of anything I wanted to live for anymore. Nick, he got really worried and he sent me a bunch of texts like, hey, are you okay? Like, Emma, please call me back. And I pick up my phone and I'm like, leave me alone, you've done enough. And he just doesn't realize how, like, that messed me up, like, a lot. I was in my room and I threw my phone. And, like, I was never, like, fully suicidal before. But I took scissors and, you know, I cut my arms and I was like, this doesn't feel, I don't feel it anymore. And so then I put a rope in my closet and I tried hanging myself, but like I couldn't do it. So I saved up a lot of a antidepressant. I forget how many there was, maybe like 13, and I took them.
All of a sudden I hear this, you know, banging on the door, and the kids are starting to scream, and I come out and there's lights going on. What's going on? And we're oblivious.
I see lights hitting the windows. And I'm like, immediately I knew.
And we go up, and there she is laying on the floor in our bedroom.
She was in the closet. At first glance, I see a noose is hung in the closet and I look down, and she's sitting in the closet. And she's non-responsive. Her pupils are as big as her eyes. They're completely black. And she's just looking straight ahead, and her arms are down. And I just scooped her up, and I said, Emma, I love you. And I just kept saying, I love you, don't you leave me. And I kept telling her to fight, that it was worth it, that high school would be over soon.
I remember getting wheeled into the hospital. Then I remember the doctor talking to me, and I was still super out of it. I was super like, I don't know, just exhausted almost. And then after a while, I was alone for a little bit, and I kind of just like thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? Like, I felt terrible for what I did to my family.
After like doing the 432 thing, I had to deal with court for like about a year. We finally came down to 5 days of community service.
He was always like the reckless kid, you know, like when we were in tunnels, he'd be like, dude, got us some headlights. You want to put on the head torches? And I'm just like, no, people are gonna see us. He's like, cool, well, got this tactical flashlight so we don't trip over shit anymore. And I'm just like, dude, stop. Funny kid, though. I kind of miss our adventures. I went back to my old neighborhood. Danny is one of my childhood friends that I grew up skating around. He kind of like pointed me in the direction that I should go as far as living my life.
It's so weird seeing all these kids getting out. It's like... It's weird because it's still the same thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like smoke. It's like a cycle. You can smell that too, right? Yeah. Oh, this is your block. Yeah. I forgot. I've been crossing shit off my bucket list this whole year. Like, dude, like, off the record, I slept with a celebrity. Like, just like shit like that, you know? Like, it's like, dude, like, I'm crossing this shit off, you know? Like, it's like, what? This is fucking awesome.
Everybody's looking up to this guy. And nobody really can say that about any 18-year-old that's come out of Astoria, Queens, you know?
It's always like a reminder. It's like, this is where your life started. And then like, you see people like hanging out and just like smoking weed, and it's like 7 in the morning. I look at that, and I mean, it's not good to think that, but I'm like, that's you. You know, like, that's supposed to be you. One of my neighbors, like, she was like, Hamza? I was like, hey, like, you know, I said, hey, Miss Ruthie, like, how are you? She's like, I'm so happy. She's like, my daughter showed me what you'd be doing online. She's like, I'm so glad a young black kid made it out of the ghetto. And she's like crying for me, and I was like, wow, like, I didn't realize what I'm doing is having such an impact on other people's lives. And that's when I was like, there's a bigger picture out here than just who can get the best photo, who can get the biggest paycheck. Like, I'm being a role model for these individuals, whether I know it or not. In my head, I know who I want to be and who I am at the moment. It's like a fairy tale. You don't always get to be who you want to be. It's like an everyday struggle trying to be understood. I'm gonna be honest, I don't read books. One book I do occasionally go back to is the 48 Laws of Power. One of the principles that I read about was, whoever you idolize, tell them, man, I idolize you, like, you're the king, you're the god, make them feel like they don't need to do anything anymore, but while you're secretly still out in the street doing everything. Let them feel like they've eaten, they can sit back and rest while you're still out there working. And that's how you make your way to the top and you surpass them. And that's a rule that people constantly use on me, even if they don't know it. So every time they're like, Hamza, you made it, Hamza, you're the man, I'm just like, don't tell me that. It's like, I'm still out here hungry, I'm still out here doing the same thing I'm doing.
Kaylin likes to win, let's put it that way. When Kaylin was number 2 or something at a pageant, that was not good enough. I never forget, she was like probably 3 years old. She's looking at the trophies. She always knew that the big, tall one was the person that was the winner. She used to say, I want to be the winner. That's what she always said, I want to be the winner.
When I hit 500K, I got really excited because it's like 500,000, so it's like, wow, okay, you're doing something right.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you?
Good. Now, my dad is like more into the fashion line, and we had a meeting with Jasmine and it went really well and we talked about everything, and so now we're gonna do it.
I'll do the groundwork for getting this thing together, but then like I said, they gotta put the effort in it and sell it.
Okay, let's figure out this posing situation.
It's gonna be a small brand until it grows into something huge. Kind of like her Instagram account.
She's got 500,000 followers in climbing. She's already a brand. She's a brand that's an emerging. She is an emerging market.
Ooh, Kaylin, turning it on. Wait, I was living for that. Go back.
Me and Jasmine are very hardworking, and anything we do is successful. And so anything that we're doing together is going to be even more successful, because it's like success, and like we put it together, it's like more success.
Okay, serious though.
I had to go to treatment for depression. I would stay there from like 8:30 to 3 every day. And basically just talk about my feelings. We had a phone box. We all had to put our phones in the box at the beginning of the day. People were so interactive. And we just all actually talked to each other. Everyone in the group talked. That was nice. You're supposed to focus on yourself and really try to get better for yourself. But when I was there, and I was kind of one of the people that were in better shape, mentally, than most of the people there. So I actually felt like I could do something positive there. So I helped the girls that were bawling their eyes out. I could comfort them because I actually knew what they were going through. One girl had scars all the way down her arm and her shoulders. I said, what are the scars? Why'd you do that to yourself? She told me, she's like, I feel so ugly. And she's like, my boyfriend calls me fat. He'll be liking other skinny girls' pictures on Instagram. And I felt so bad for her. But then I couldn't be like, oh, it'll be all right, get over it, because I do the same thing. It's I can relate, so I'm in the same boat with you, and I can't help you because it sucks. It was really rough after I went home. I haven't been treated the same since I've been home. People are always checking up on me and stuff. Always taking my vitals. How are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? I don't feel like they're treating me like they used to.
I'm not as well as she is. Honestly. So, I struggle still.
I think she's afraid that I'm gonna tell her everything's fine. when nothing really is okay. And to be completely honest, I'm kind of afraid I'll do that too.
The only thing that I have seen that really helps teenage girls is when they help others. When they aren't focused on themselves, but they're focusing on others. And that's when I see things in them that you don't see on Instagram.
I was just super, I wouldn't say positive, but very excited to be out of the treatment program. Just because I just wanted life back, which is crazy because a month ago I didn't want life at all.
Little do y'all know, he told her, but that's my little bro. And that's a fact. Remember fighting over wearing clothes. I come home from school like, yo, where my shoes now? Hamza outside, right by the stoop with my shoes on. I'm like, yo, what you doing, bro? Why you always wearing my clothes? 2 years later, probably 3 or 4, Hamza Dees is making his own clothes, own socks, Hamzilla. That's my little nigga. That's a fact, we getting realer. 2016 we bigger, and that's off the head. Listen, I'm so proud of my little bro. Wish Umi was here right now to see my little bro. That's a fact, Shaija here right now to see my little bro. Yeah, Hamza told me about these other white junks. Said how he was in Dubai taking flight junks. I'm like, damn, where the fuck I'm at? That's my bro, that's a fucking fact.
On social media, you can edit yourself to who you want to be. Meanwhile, in person, you're stuck with who you really are. But it's like a constant battle that everyone faces, whether they admit it or not.
So many people want to be like who they aren't, you know what I mean? So many people want to portray themselves as being perfect or having the perfect life. I don't like want to be like fake in that matter. I want people to think of me as like, a real person and like be relatable and people to understand me.
I think I gave the people behind the social media too much power. Because, I mean, that's what Instagram's all about, you know, how many likes you get. And that literally controls the power of your picture. And now I'm just like, if I want to post a picture of a jellyfish, I'm going to. I did, that's why I said that. And so, I did. It's a nice picture. It is, it's a really good picture.
That's awesome. Did you get a lot of likes?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Do this on my own. I put the work in, now it's on. That bottom grill is looking cold. Yeah, soon I'ma pull up in a rose. Yeah, these fakes wanna get in my way all around me, but I got my eye open wide, Mike Wazowski. Whoa, yeah, I had to do this on my own, yeah. Oh, you were down? Yeah. I can't stand y'all following trends. Get out of here. Nah, I ain't like y'all, I'm following M's. Yeah. Cause it's been doing me right. I'ma pull up with the vocal, bet you see me. I'ma stack these plaques up higher than the ceiling. I'm really feel it. Cause it's been doing me right. You ain't my friend, yeah. No, you ain't. ain't been there from the beginning. You be pretending, that's why I had to do this on my own. I put the work in, now it's shown. That bottom grill is looking cold. Yeah, soon I'ma pull up in the rose.
Oh, that's good lighting.
In my way all around me, but I got my eye open wide, Michael Salsky. Whoa. Yeah, I had to do this on my own. On my own.
Oh, wait, I gotta take another one.
Then I gotta take Nah, I mean, really, you should take notes. I'm coming from a different angle, and it's been doing me right. Yeah, I'm the youngest on the scene that's really doing things. They got me flying to Korea just to hear me sing. Put that on everything. I guess I'm doing it right. Yeah. You ain't my friend, yeah. No, you ain't been there from the beginning. You be pretending, that's why I had to do this on my own. I put the work in, now it's shown. That bottom grill is looking cold. Yeah, soon I'ma pull up in a rose. Dirty face wanna get in my way all around me, but I got my eye open wide, Michael Salsky. Whoa, I see you, yeah. I had to do this on my own. On my own.